Oh, howdy, folks. It's me, Wasabi Gangsters. I'm almost forgetting my own intro. So here's the deal. We're going to jump right into some reading from this past week. Good news. Here's what I finished. And it was something. I finished Eluthienn, which is great news for people who have been following this reading journey. Myself, Chris from Meter Book Beast, Alex from Miskinaria, and Jake from Nerd Level Horizon will be having a conversation. It's Thursday. I'm filming this. You guys will be seeing this on Friday. If you missed the conversation that we had, the Red Company, go check it out. We just have a hootin' and hollering time. We have a great time. And we're talking about this interesting self-pub book. You could get my full thoughts there. I don't want to say too much. Overall, there's a lot to like in this book. I think that the landing... go check out the conversation that we had yesterday, even though I'm filming this right before that conversation, in fact. But yeah, Eluthienn. I finished that book. I didn't get any deeper into To Ride Hell's Chasm. Unfortunately, I was really working on finishing Eluthienn and working. But thankfully, Eluthienn's done. So To Ride Hell's Chasm, I'll be making some more progress in going into the weekend. I'm going upstate, so I'll have some time, kind of like hopefully in the snow, some time in peace and quiet to catch up on some reading and obviously some more work. But yeah, so that story, nothing changed from last week. Literally 7 days, I hadn't touched it. I probably should have picked up a chapter or two, but my sitting down and reading time on the couch, as far as picking up this book, was mostly focused on Eluthienn. So we're getting into my late January as I finish that. I'm also 15% more through Discovery since last week. Oh, I think they are putting up a sample through their Discord. I don't know if it's going to be available for everybody or if it's just Patreons. I know that it's going to be happening. So follow them over at Talking Story. The conversation will be being had, and you can actually get more information on this. This story so far, again, I'm in the second act, I believe, or maybe the third act. I'm in the third act, and we're getting a different perspective that is now tying back to people from the second and first act. It's a wonderfully crafted story, and you can see that in the care that went into this book, and I'm only 45 some odd percent in. I cannot wait to finish this one. I know it's so easy to say I can't wait. It's like, oh, if you can't wait, just finish it. It's like, yeah, life and time. So yeah, I'm going to get more into Discovery and To Ride Hell's Chasm. My goal is to finish. I think I could finish Discovery by next week. To Ride Hell's Chasm, my goal would be to get to roughly anywhere between 30 and 50% of done with To Ride Hell's Chasm by the middle of February. I'll probably be throwing in the Song of Achilles just on audio. Not sure yet. And then I will be throwing in, I have a couple short stories, the rest, or not short stories, novellas. The Rest to the Gods by Joshua Walker. I'll probably be picking this up just to kind of get a quick novella read, get immersed into the world. The Song of the Sleepers series, The Exile of Water and Gold, is his debut, and that's the Jeff Brown cover. It's beautiful. So that's what I want to get into. And then Silence is Silver by Andrew Watson. I don't want to say anything else other than I need to read that. And yeah, that's going to be a series that I'm hoping to get into sometime soon. Other than that, I read a couple, I think 2 or 3 chapters from the 7th volume. Finishing this will catch me up to the fellas doing the Berserk chat, which is Tom Orange, the Red Company, plus Tom Orange, Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and Britton from Samoki Dude. We're going to have a chat conversing over the things up to the end of the Conviction arc, which is volume 21, which this puppy finishes, this literal physical copy. So I will be finishing this hopefully in the next 2 weeks. That's my goal. I want to finish volumes 19 and 20 by the next 2 weeks from now. And I think that'll be pretty, that'll put us in a good place to have that conversation in March. There's also a conversation for Malazan that I'm brewing up between Rommel Broadcasting, or Rommel. I probably actually need to figure out how to say that. I never actually figured that out. Wow. Well, sorry, bud. Shoot. And then Joshua from Josh Reads Books, and our resident Malazan expert, Jake from Nerd Level Rising, will be there in that conversation. We're planning that for March. We have a Saturday picked out, or we have 2 Saturdays picked out that we're navigating, but they need to finish Midnight Tides. This is Reaper's Gale, by the way. I'll just implement my book haul right here. Pick this puppy up because this is my next Malazan read. But I did want to go ahead and have a conversation because I saw that they just finished House of Chains. And I really want to talk about Midnight Tides when they're done with it, because I think the further I get away from it, it's slowly becoming my favorite, especially after reading the Boat Hunters, because there's some tie in there. But yeah, other than that, the book pickup, other than Reaper's Gale, I got my Broken Binding edition. Oh, wow, look at that beauty of 11th Cycle. Oh, I've screwed it up, I bet. Yep, here we are. Hold on, folks. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to put you down for a second. Don't mind me. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Oh, no. What am I doing? Okay. Got caught there. But yeah, look at this. A beautiful edition. This is another independently published book that I think he's coming out with a second book this year. I don't know if it's this year or 2026. I listened to him in a conversation, but we'll see. I'm hoping that this one I want to get into. I know Alex at Iskandaria has said that it's either something I'm going to love or something that he really thinks he's going to love. But yeah, this is one that I'm really looking forward to getting into. So as far as my reading goes, I'm pretty sure that sums it up. Yeah, if you guys are here for my reading updates, I did not finish to ride Hell's Chasm, which stinks because I actually am kind of wanting that prose style back. Nothing against Eluthienn. I actually thought the prose of Eluthienn was pretty polished, relatively speaking, and good. I think the world building was good, but to ride Hell's Chasm just has this feeling, this classic feeling to it that I really am kind of itching to get back to. But yeah, so I'm going to do that today and going into the weekend. So that's all my reading stuff, guys. If you're here just for that, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Grateful that you came for that. I'm going to talk about some writing stuff. Got some exciting updates there. But yeah, thanks for coming to hang out. Now, writing. I am 8 of 44 chapters through my book 2 revisions in my first run through. I'm probably going to go through it. The goal is by the end of this month, to have the second book run through completely, as I'm expecting to get the copy edits back from book 1 sometime in the next 2 weeks. So I'll navigate that and keep you guys updated as far as how that goes. If you guys want to see my regular, like the exact word count of where I'm at, I'm down to like a 183.7. I think I was at 184 something. So I'm making some cuts, adding some things, taking some things away with book 2, and really revising the story, looking for structure this time through, looking for things that need to be cleaned up, maybe things that don't need to be there. Ugly First Drafts have a lot of exposition, which did help story how I went back into the first book as a discovery writer. So going back and cleaning those things up with book 2 and seeing how the story unfolds, seeing the action, seeing the pacing, feeling everything out. And book 2 is exciting to be back into. There's some scenes that I thought happened later in the book that happened earlier in the book. And it's just, I don't know, I've been really itching to get back to it. I'm happy that I finally am. I'm about 25% of the way through. I know that by chapter, that probably doesn't sound right. In double space Times New Roman 12 that I'm writing in, it's 635 some odd pages. And so I think I'll be finishing it by the end of February. And I got an art piece done. I'm going to have to tag the guy on Instagram, the person on Instagram who did the art piece. And I'm really excited. I sent it to Sam from Samwise, and he said his first instinct was he thought it was from something from Broken Binding, which is like awesome. I'm looking forward to working with this person more. I did the opening scene of my book. If you guys want to know what that is, you can check the link. There's another link at the bottom of my description that I do a reading of a very rougher draft version of the opening scene of my book. That will be a more polished version of that will be posted, but the entire prologue will be posted, not just that one scene. And I have 2 art pieces that I'm hoping, like that the one that he did for me, which you guys will probably see on Patreon in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm intending on releasing the first 3 chapters early for a tier on Patreon, and everything there right now is free. I'm probably going to try and do like an early release thing, just like behind a wall. I know it's just something I'm trying out because I am going to be investing in some more art pieces, and that's just kind of like I don't expect to make my money back with Patreon subscriptions, but if I do, great. But I don't really care, because at the end of the day, you guys are going to be able to see it no matter what. It's just if you want to see it early, it's going to be there. That option is going to be available for you. And so I'm really excited to get that out to more people, because then we can really start having the conversation of, okay, especially with those first 30 to 40 pages there, you're either in or you're out. And obviously, and that's the intent, is like, okay, let's see how many people want to be on board. It's going to be really exciting to share. It is some dark stuff, but it is It is a story. Everything happens for a reason, and that's all I'll say right now. When that time comes, you guys will know more. I know I mentioned serialized novella going up on that Patreon. That's not going to be behind a paywall. That will be free, as well as the short story that I still have on up there. So if you haven't read that yet, go check out that short story. It's a Blood Rebellion short story. We have Alevist Lightseeker, this little guy up here who we follow, this little D&D mini that we follow on a journey with his old crew. And you can check that out. It's kind of a taste of the world and taste of the prose, taste of the writing. It's only polished so much because I didn't put it through professionals. But the goal is to build up an anthology of stories of either the pre-reckoning stuff that happens in the world. Man, it's so interesting being able to talk more openly about actions and stuff in the world. Very cool. And I'm hoping that you guys who know what the reckoning is or get an idea of what it is as it goes will come back to this thought, this video, this dialogue, and be like, oh wow, that'd be really cool. So into book 2, art piece going out with the first a sample, first 40 some odd pages, the entire prologue, or I call it the before. Because it takes place literally before the main narrative, but it is an important part of the narrative because of all that is implied in that beginning. Of course, otherwise, why would it exist? So that is the big writing news. I mean, otherwise, there's not really much I touched on. I'm working on a serial killer thriller type thing, just kind of like a page a day, some odd, for a buddy in his podcast. That's kind of coming together nicely. Actually, it's interesting to flex my muscles in a genre that I'm not familiar with writing, and it's fun. It's very fun. It's interesting. I'm not my thing, but I am liking it, oddly enough. Not the whole serial killer thing, but kind of developing that story and seeing where it goes. And also the short form, like 20 pages, this is what you have. Make a story that is effective, punchy, and gets and has rising tension, falling action, like all the stuff that goes into a story. It's fun to create. So all that said, I think that is it. I think I'm just blabbering on at this point. If I think of anything else in my writing, you'll see it in my physical writing update that you can check out also in the link below. Thank you again so much, guys, for coming here and checking out, hanging out. If you guys are interested in that paid Patreon tier, I'm actually curious to hear your thoughts if like what that sounds like. I actually ran it by Slays man. And yeah, I think that it's something I'm comfortable doing because for no other reason, it's just like it's going to be, I don't want the masses seeing the less, because I don't think I'll have the copy edited first 3 acts of the prologue done by the time I decide to post it. So it's an incomplete, or it's complete, but it's imperfect. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I haven't got the notes back yet from the copy editor. So anyways, expecting to hear back from her in the next 2 weeks. That's all for today. I'm done. I'm going to stop talking. I swear. All right. I'm done. Check out Preacher Reads. Just do that. He's going to be tagged below as well. You just check him out. That's all I have to say. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Ted, that one's for you. All right, guys. Later.